It's been a long time coming. All right. I know I've been on a little bit of a hiatus for a little bit. For that, I apologize. But thankfully, we're back to our regularly scheduled program. Yeah, I don't know what else to say, but Profound Pondering is back. I got a bunch of stuff coming out for y'all. Some more podcasts, more episodes. Like back to the basics. I'm not gonna promise, every other day again, but just know that we back to it. As we endure, we ought to observe how things can be altered by our perspective. Man's mind will tend to insanity if he allows the storms of the past to torment his being now. The storm ends, and one does not really get impacted by a storm until it arrives. You don't pull out your umbrella before it actually starts raining. And that is to say that, a lot of us flinch at the world. A lot of us suffer before it's necessary. He who suffers more than necessary suffers before it's necessary. And in saying that, it's like, you see a storm coming, you won't pull out your umbrella until that rain hits. You don't, brace for impact until it's there. You don't fix something before it's broken. And I think a lot of times in life we tend to do that. We know that certain things in this world are aimed and poised against us. We can observe that a lot of things in life have negative potential. Things can go wrong, and a lot of the times we tend to react to that possibility rather than, living in that present moment and allowing things to be as they are. A lot of times we worry for no reason. If all you can do is worry, it's probably not worth worrying about. Can you fix it? Can you do something about it right now? Most of the time the answer is no. If it's out of your hands, it should be out of your mind as well. If all you can do is think about it, it's probably not worth thought. I love throwing all these quotes back in there, man. But yeah, man's mind should be fixed on beautiful weather amidst his vessel. The very air around you is beautiful until that storm hits. So it's about appreciating that time before the storm. It's about appreciating that time after the storm. It's about appreciating every moment that is now rather than allowing the knowledge that something's about to go wrong or potentially can go wrong ruin the present moment now. I mean, we do this all the time. You know that you have to wake up early in the morning for 8 a.m. or something, or you have a test in the morning or something like that, and you allow that negative dread that you have that obligation later on to impact the moment now. Like, oh man, I gotta do this at 6 o'clock, so it's 3 o'clock and I'm like, man, my mood is already down. It's about living in the present and not allowing that knowledge of, oh, I have to do this, oh, this is negative, oh, this is bad, to bog you down. We must in times, after the storm, realize what we still have. And that's a realization that you survived this storm. We did not falter yet, thrived until the light broke. If you're watching this, if you're indulging in this video at all, you've made it through every hardship of your life. You've gotten through those points because you're here right now. And you have to also appreciate yourself a little bit because, you made it to this point. You've endured everything that you have and you're still kicking right now. You might not be in the best mental state in general, but you have to appreciate that you've made it to this point. You have to appreciate that you're someone who has potential. You can still do what you please and you still have the ability to grow and to develop as a person. It's really all about that perspective of not suffering before it's necessary. There are too many times in life where we can just allow ourselves to be stressed about impending circumstance, but that ruins the now. That stuff isn't happening right now. It's happening in our mind. And I'm definitely going to be talking more about like projection and whatnot, but stop allowing our mind to be outside of our head. Stop allowing things to be our mind. Some things aren't inherently negative. Most things aren't. But we allow our minds to kind of caress those things, to grab them and allow them to be the world around us. It's the external nature of the internal world. When we're not taking care of, what's in here, our mind, our mental health, spirit, whatever you want to call it, all those negative things that are inside you tend to project outward. They tend to become the things around you. You start to react in ways that are befitting of that perspective that you're taking on the world rather than how things actually are. Someone might accidentally step on your shoe. You might call it intentional because of the negative perspective you have. A lot of things are not just black and white. They're a matter of our perspective. Like, everybody's either living in their own personal heaven or hell. That's something I was told a while ago, and I think it is a very profound statement. It really is that. You take the perspective that you choose, or that you allow to be prescribed onto you. It's the paradigm of like human consciousness, which you allow into your conscious because you're subconscious, then your body, your life. And the more we allow ourselves to consciously prescribe a negative prescription onto our life, the more negative our life will be. It's about having the strength to take on that positive perspective, because it's not always easy. I mean, I could talk all day about it, but like, in reality, it's about having that strength and finding that strength to realize that you benefit nothing from that negative. It's like Pascal's gamble. You believe in heaven, or you believe in God and there is a heaven, good. You believe in God and, oh wait, that's not right. It's God and God. So you believe in God and there is a God, good, you go to heaven. You believe in God and there is no God, you won't be there to experience it. You don't believe in God, there is a heaven, you're in hell. You don't believe in God, there is no God, tough. That's just an example of Pascal's gamble. I don't want to get too religious on here, but in general, like, sometimes there are points where you can accept a positive outcome in your mind rather than the negative, because it won't negatively impact you. You have nothing to lose in believing you're smart, confident, beautiful, etc. You have nothing to lose. But you have everything to lose in believing you're the opposite. If you think you're dumb, you think you can't achieve this, you think you can't achieve that, you won't strive for greatness. You won't be able to do those great things. It's about instilling faith into yourself so that you can move forward in the life that you actually want. It's about concentrating, being there for yourself, focusing on what you want, focusing on the things in life that serve you rather than the things that don't. It's about realizing the little tiny things that make you happy, focusing on those when you can. It's about giving yourself time to relax, giving yourself time to work. You have to have that dichotomy. You have to create those distinctions in your life to actually make them abundant. If we don't, you allow life to get mundane, everything seems pretty flat out. And we tend towards that negativity once again. So overall, it's about the idea that, with storm brings tranquility. If you made it this far, man, happy to be back. Great to be back. If you still tuned in this long, appreciate you. Yeah.